later.
Oh, no.
Or after they eat it. It's fine. It's alright.
We got plenty of space.
It's pretty cute, isn't it? It's really itchy. Do you want me to by the way so other people can look, okay?
Now this to be about 100 years of age, and it's forever as hyperactive as a 5-year-old child. Trust me on that one. Now it looks as though our beautiful McCalls are about to take on, so let's give them a big round of applause for coming out here today.
Let's play a little game. It's called Come Closer. It's about as close as you want to get to a dangerous animal like this. He can just come flying out at any second. You right, Jess? You back there?
Breathing, mate, yeah.
You're backing me up, mate, so you're a little bit closer if you don't mind.
Okay.
Not too close. I might have to jump back at any second. I tell you what, mate, you're looks big from where you're sitting. You should see him from here. All right, guys, he's making his way over. He's going to set himself up for the strike now. Don't blink, you'll miss it. He's absolute lightning. Here we go. Come on. Whoa! Come on, how was that?
Oh, mate, that was awesome. I don't know if everyone's noticed though. This is a little alligator, not a crocodile. He is a little small, on the small
You would
side.
understand just why. How are we going, Steph? Where is she? Magnificent Jagana. Those glowing golden eyes belong to the females, and the strange-looking legs are perfectly designed for a soft landing. Fishing for Jagana isn't about casting a line and waiting for a bite. She's a champion spear fisherman, and her weapon of choice, while you're looking at it, to swim faster and dive to greater depths in pursuit of their prey. Now, while this is great for underwater, a bird can't fly the skies with wet feathers, and that's why you'll see cormorants lining riverbanks throughout Australia with their wings outstretched, just like they're hanging themselves out. A member of the New World vulture family, Chief is a scavenger with a preference for large carcasses like cattle and deer. Condors cruise coastlines in search of beach marine mammals like dolphins, seals and whales. A near-threatened species, condors are falling victim.
I'm going to set it up via air mail. And once he does place it in the palm of your hand, just close a couple of fingers over that nose. Alright, we'll set it up one more time. So when he does place it in the palm of your hand, maybe he's saying that I want to go up and buy a coffee with that $5. Let's try your other hand. So we'll try it a little bit different. So all the way out, that's the way, and he's got the note. We will get that note back up to you. Alrighty. Well, now if he doesn't do this, what I will do, I will hand it to you personally. There we go. That's good enough for me, and that, everyone, is Irwin, our beautiful red-tailed black cockatoo.
To live alongside saltwater crocodiles. To come into conflict with a large male saltwater crocodile, you have to make a mistake. And that mistake can be as simple as what I'm doing now. I'm way too close to the edge of the water. Or I could make an even bigger mistake and go down into the water, into the crocodile's territory, into his house. Mother's going to be making his way out any second now. And you'll notice when he does, he doesn't disturb the surface of the water. He also hasn't had to come up and have a breath. And that's because a saltwater crocodile has the ability to hold his breath for well over 3 hours at a time, no problem at all. So have a look at Mugger, he's not disturbing the surface. This was dirty, murky water where you'd naturally find a crocodile. You'd have no idea that there was a potential 12-foot long, 250-kilo crocodile making his way in, setting himself up for a strike. And I tell you what, Josh, he's all yours, mate.
Thanks, Dave. Now watch that tail as he comes in. Come on, big fella, come on. Good man. Woo. Now that was a good strike from the water's edge. Now if Mugger really wanted to though, he could come out so hard and fast that no animal in the Australian bush could avoid the attack. Now Crocs will defend their home and their territory with everything they've got. So Dave, time you get back in the water, buddy. Let's demonstrate that. Again.
This wasn't in my workplace agreement. Come on, Mugger. Alright, so notice as I get back in the water, into his territory, he's straight on it. It really annoys him and he wants to get me out of it. Now, if I seem a little bit nervous at the moment, that's because I am. In Mugger's jaws, he's got around 3,000 pounds per square inch closing jaw pressure. So if he was to grab me mid-body, he'd crush me down to a couple of inches thick. I'd lose this gorgeous waistline and I'd ooze out either end like toothpaste. Now, that probably would make a really good show for you guys, but it sure would wreck my weekend, so hopefully we can avoid that now. This is exactly how Mugger had set himself up if he was stalking his prey out in the wild. A couple of inches below the surface, completely motionless, and what he's doing is waiting for an animal's nose to touch the water. Josh?
Yeah.
Can you come and touch the water?
No, it's all yours.
Jeez, it's hard to find good help around here. He's thinking about it now. He knows I'm here. He can see up and out of the water. With the sky behind me, he'd be able to work out my rough shape. Like I said, he's got time on his side. He can hold his breath for over 3 hours. He can sit perfectly motionless. Here we go. Good boy. And he strikes out and launches his attack. Now, tell you what, like I said, he can strike and hit this fence. He can strike from the tip of his nose to just behind his back legs in the blink of an eye. Now, there is another area that crocs are dangerous, and that's in areas overhanging the water. Josh, can you just get him moving down that way for us? Actually, seeing as how we're on the subject of Josh, if there's any single ladies in the audience, Josh wanted me to let you know that he's also available. He enjoys quiet walks on the beach, usually by himself, and he collects Star Wars action figures. And you still live at home with your mum, don't you? Yeah, that's right, he's quite the catch. But I tell you what, if you do want his number, don't come and see Josh, come and see me personally.
You know, Dave.
Now, like I said...
Hold on. Crocs generally prey on the sick, the weak, and the unwise, and you're all three.
That's pretty funny coming from someone who used to be a hairdresser, mate. But anyway, like I said, crocs are dangerous in areas overhanging the water as well. Now we call this a tail walk method. This isn't a circus trick that we have to teach our animals. They do it from the time they're hatchlings. When they're only 15, 17 centimetres long, just little tackers when they're catching frogs and insects in the reeds, right up until their mother's size and bigger, where obviously they're looking for those larger animals. So possums, birds, snakes, fish, any animal that finds itself in a low branch overhanging the water is going to be potential easy prey for a tail-walking crocodile. Now his eyesight's very movement orientated. Watch his tail, that's where all his power is going to come from. Oh, good boy. How's that? Good boy, Mugger. And probably their favourite animal to catch using this method would be flying foxes. Now, flying foxes roost in colonies above the water in their thousands. Now, if you're a smart, dominant flying fox, and you get to roost all the way to the top of the tree, if you're a weak, less dominant flying fox, you get pushed to the bottom. You're easy pickings for that tail walking crocodile. Good boy, Mungo, how's that? Now, the lesson there is, guys, if you do find yourself up in Northern Australia, it's not a safe place to climb out on an overhanging branch and go get you moving.
Now you can see there that I can fairly easily move backwards faster than Mugger if you come forward. He's just not designed to chase you down out on land. In fact, I'm even confident enough that I could sit down here in front of Mugger and know that I can easily get up and out of the way quicker than he can come forward. That's because he's just not designed to chase you down out on land. That massive tail that aids him so well in the water just acts like a giant handbrake. So the bottom line...
Mika, wait. Good girl, come on. Good girl. Name? Mika. Come on. So what we're giving the cats here at the moment for a little bit of a treat is just some cow's milk. So because we hand raise them from a very young age, they grew up on a milk formula, a tiger milk substitute. And now we use full cream milk to help do any sort of natural behaviours or medical behaviours with the cats. So I'll see if I can get Mika here out to the island without falling in. You can see they're quite responsive, so we're going to lay down just to sort of get them relaxing and used to what we're about to ask them to do. Now all these behaviours that we're about to show you are all natural behaviours that tigers utilise in the wild, and we'll just talk to you a little bit about them as the cats do it. So the first one is probably one of the cutest behaviours that they do. It's what we call a sit-up, where they sit up nice and tall on their hinds. Now this has a very useful fact for that exact reason, that they can make themselves reach up higher so their nose and mouth can get closer to any smells that may be laying around. So tigers being a solitary animal, hello, they mark their territory by spraying overhanging branches or rocky outcrops around the perimeter of their territories out in the wild. And then when another tiger comes along and they want to draw in that smell and check it out, if they can't reach it on all fours, they'll do this sit-up behaviour so they can get their nose and mouth closer to that scent. So not only do tigers have a very keen sense of smell, and they also have a sensory organ, and it's really not the case. These guys are very far from tamed. Even your domestic cats still have that instinct to hunt and kill, and tigers are nowhere near as domesticated above us handlers, and they're not even stretching right up. So you look at Charlie over there with Giles. If he goes into it, he's up around sort of 7.5, 8 foot tall. Claws, please. And then the girls sort of around 6.5, 7 foot. So is that 90 kilos, 6, 7 foot? Quite a big cat. These are, fingers crossed, no? So Charlie over there has worked out that he can just squeeze the carp between his paws and try and shotgun 300 mils of milk. The girls are a little bit more relaxed and they sort of allow us to sort of give it to them at a slower rate. But this next behaviour is the fight stance. You want to do it again? It's pretty self-explanatory. Sneer's doing an excellent job over there where she's balancing up on her hind legs. So it leaves their front legs free. So if they were coming to a confrontation with another tiger, there we go, good girl. They'd be swiping out of them, trying to knock them off balance, and then gain the evidence over that little disagreement. Don't fall in the water. All the cats, they can't jump from limb to limb. But get your cameras ready and check this out. Look how easily she'll get to the top.
Oh wow, baby.
I got it.
Pretty impressive, hey guys. Give her a clap if you like. That was really cool. A little bit slower coming down. Good girl. Well done, Sunita. Now that's one of the most impressive behaviours I believe that the cats do. It shows you just how powerful they are. She wasn't bear hugging the tree and holding on for dear life. If I was 5 metres up a palm tree, I wouldn't be too comfortable. You find with the cats, what they're going to do is just dig their claws into the side of it, and that can support their weight. So it shows you how strong and powerful they are. As I mentioned, they can bring down prey weighing up to about 4 times their own body weight. So you can see how easily she got up and down that tree. Now what we can do is show you here with Charlie is some of their jumping abilities. So hopefully he'd like to do that. Charlie, you want to come with me? Charlie, good boy. So once again, get your cameras ready. Now he's 130 kilos. I said he's not that motivated at the moment, but see if he can maybe run and jump off this log and show you their jumping abilities. So there you go, Charlie, another little bit of meat. Get your cameras ready, guys. There you go, Charlie, big jump, big jump. Good boy, well done. So you can see there, he was only really lumbering up to it. He didn't really run at the log, and he was able to probably get about 2 metres straight up in the air, clear a 4-5 metre gap, and that was without even trying. So if he was running at full speed, even half speed, 25, 30 kilometres an hour, and you want to try and launch up in the air, We've seen him clear 8 metres gap very, very comfortably. So I said very agile, apex predator. They can climb trees, they can run fast, they can jump in the air. They're not scared of the water. So definitely not an animal that you want to mess with, and why they're so successful out in the wild and why they are king of the jungle in the environments that they live in. Okay, so I hope you all agree that I've done really well. We've had a great presentation. We're going to leave them now, bring out their sister Mika, just let them spend the afternoon relaxing and doing their own thing out here on the temple. If you do have any questions, guys, or you do want to help us out, once again, please head down there and have a chat to Che.
So another reminder with our photographer rules as well, there are no cameras to come through the entry exit at all. So
We are in around the
taking a video, iPhones, iPads, anything that take pictures or records, it simply slows down that food too much. The elephants get too bored and they walk away. Now you do not want to be the person responsible for making the elephant leave their feet. So please, if you want to take photos or videos, jump in those designated photography areas and you can take as many as you like.
He's cleaning himself. Get down on the ground, lower.
This video. He's hungry.
So soft.
Okay, my turn.
Kangaroos, kangaroos, kangaroos.
Huh?
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Is that video?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, upside down.
So you get his whole body, babe.
Coming down. Hello, koala, koala. You're so cute. Are you gonna give me a hug again?
Hello, Michaela.
Koala's bottom on the white part. You know, really good place for them. And they'll come out without a right, that's not saving.
It's big as you. It's taller than you.
Then have a tail. Then have a pat, Mum. What's it doing, Mum? Taking your legs, Mum.
Yeah. Itchy, itchy. Kati, kati, kati. Kati, kati, kati.